Okay, so I know context is not here, but this, I swear to God, is the third festival I have accidentally stumbled into, two of which were in my own neighborhood, and I didn't know they were going on. There's some sort of like, I can't turn the camera on. I don't know what that is. I think it's like a scavenger hunt. Wild. I just wanted to go on a walk. But there's a whole festival. I don't know if it's a festival, it might just be like an event, but there's a whole event happening. The first time this happened was I was just taking a walk in a place called Gordonton, like a stream that goes by my house, and there was I, I'm not joking. There was a street dance festival happening, like a stage. There were MCs. It was like the stream is like the street level, and then the stream, and then the street. So like it was absolutely wild because I did not know it was happening. I was just taking a walk, and it was like the last day. It was like a weekend long thing. I was like, well, that's weird. And I stood and watched some street dancing. It was pretty cool. Then I went home. This one, there's like, I can't show you because I'm not supposed to film people. And it would be like really rude to just like film this girl. But there's a girl straight up dressed as Alice in Wonderland reading a book behind a sign in this park. Like there's a whole like scavenger hunt of cool stuff to find. It's actually really awesome. Oh, sorry. Butterfly almost dive bombed my face. It's wild what's going on at this park today. It's actually like a bunch of people. Like I think there's several different things going on at once. I don't really know. This is like a massive park right by my house. It's actually really pretty. And I like to come here and walk. It's very peaceful. There's like a rose garden and it's like a walking track, which I'm kind of on the outskirts of right now. There's like little dog parks to let your dogs run in, like leash off. There's little pallets to lay in the shade where you can have like a picnic or something. Little mini library that you can like check books out of. It's really cute. There's like a kids playground. I think there's a roller skating rink, outdoor roller skating rink, and I don't know if it becomes an ice skating rink in the winter. I don't know. There's like a big lake, more like a pond. It's not like the size of a lake, but it's really pretty. Wish I could show everything, but like I don't want to like. Oh god, I don't want. I don't want to like film people because I don't know how to explain that. Like, I'll cut that out of the foot, or I'll like blur it on the footage or something. So I'm extremely anxious and awkward. This is my first time filming in public like this without having like somebody on a call with me. So I'm very concerned. Also, something that I did not know about Korea before I moved here permanently, that UV from the sun, it's strong. The UV is strong in this one. This is a very direct sunlight kind of place. Even when it's cold outside, the UV will like burn your skin. It gets wild. Insane. I can't see anything on this camera, so I hope it turns out all right. Hope I'm not filming my neckline the entire time and cutting off my head. So that would be pretty funny, I have to admit. That would be pretty funny. I kind of want to go to the stream and walk down there because it's really pretty. It's a bit more shaded because I am sweating. I'm big sweaty right now. I've been out on a walk for like maybe 10-15 minutes before I started filming, so but I'm not even out that long. It's just hot. Oh my god. Oh yeah, there's a soccer field, like a turf soccer field. AstroTurf. There's also like a little badminton area where they can set up the nets. There's like several nets they can set up. And sometimes people play soccer out there because it's like a really big thing, you know, kicking around the ball and stuff. Actually, when I first moved to Seoul, I used to sometimes come to this park with an expat friend that I had before she went back to the US. We played badminton a few times. Sometimes we were just walking the park because it was like right between our houses. So it's really cool. Shout out to Amy if anyone sees this. She probably will not, but if she does, hey Amy, what's up? Been in Korea for like almost 2.5 years now, and it has been probably the craziest ups and downs I've had in like forever. But my two and a third years, I guess, not quite 2.5 yet. January will be about 2.5. It's been I've had some of the best times and some of the most traumatic times here. So I want to start kind of documenting it and at least getting it out somehow. Send it to my family if I do something cool. Start doing anything that is a hobby, because right now my only hobby is just walking, which is not a valid hobby for me. Okay. Sorry, I'm very confused. I'm very stressed. Just a few notes for like intro. Jesus. Like a few notes for if this does go public and people see it, why some of the videos are going to be edited weirdly or cut weirdly or stuff, or why I currently am not showing any of the stuff I talked about in this park, even though I've passed all of it since filming. I don't really know very well the regulations. There's a dog. I'm outside. I'm shocked that there's a dog. I cannot focus. I don't know 100% the rules and regulations in Korea. I don't know in terms of like filming, but I do know that strangers, without consent, you cannot film or photograph them. It's technically against the law. And there's a good reason for that, like, there's a good reason for that, but, I don't want to, like, get in trouble. I know that a lot of people do, like, vlog and film stuff in Korea, but they just, like, blur out or put stickers on the faces of strangers. I don't know the legalities of that for just, like, a regular person. Because every time I've seen that, it's been like an influencer or like a celebrity or like actually sponsored by like an actual TV channel here. So I'm not sure what I would have to face for that. So like I don't know what I would have to deal with for that. I don't want to get trouble. I'm so afraid of confrontation and social interaction, especially in Korea, because I don't think I really know. I highly doubt that anybody who would stop me and be like, hey, what are you doing for that? Would speak English at all. And oh my god, no. I'm absolutely not willing to put myself through that. As I just said, I'm very uncomfortable with social interaction and communication. And as a foreigner in Korea, I get stared at no matter what I'm doing. And the fact that I'm talking into a camera, publicly, it's really nerve-wracking for me. I'm dropping my phone. Drop my phone real quick. Break it. That's what I do. It's my talent. Breaking things. And crying over unnecessary situations. Oh, it's really cute. Sorry, I'm 27 years old and I can't stop like freaking out every time I see a dog. I need to relax. I have a Welsh Corgi for anyone seeing this who doesn't know. His name is General Li Shang because I'm a loser. And I named a dog after a character from Disney's Mulan, the animated one. Because I thought it would be funny to have a corgi who's named after a fictitious general of China. I thought that would be funny. And it is funny. Don't care what anyone says, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And he's currently in the US with my parents. And I miss him with every fiber of my being. I want my little buddy here. He's so cute, so sweet, so cuddly, but it is inordinately expensive to ship a dog. And somebody would have to be on the plane ticket. A human would have to be on the plane ticket with him. So I would have to have somebody from my friends or family able to visit. And he is like the most fragile creature. He's got such bad anxiety that he'll like stop eating and drinking and then like throw up and like have diarrhea and like he'll die of dehydration. And I'm really worried about him being in a 14-hour flight in a cargo hold because that's how long it takes in the flight. A thick, dense cinder block of a dog. And he's like way too big to go. He's like way too heavy to go in the passenger part of the plane where someone could like keep an eye on him and stuff. And you can't sedate dogs when you put them on flights because their blood pressure could drop and they could like die. But you know, like my dog would need to be like at least a little bit relaxed or sedated to survive a cargo hold flight, and then he probably wouldn't even if it's like longer than maybe like 2 hours. So I really would absolutely hate to, you know, go to pick up my dog at the airport and find a dead one there. That would be really upsetting. I mean, I think that would hurt me more than never seeing him again. So I want him to be happy. He's the first dog in my family that was like mine. So I always grew up with dogs. I grew up with a family dog. When I was little, my parents had a dog that they had from college. And he was our family dog until he had to be put down, sadly, because he was old and literally falling apart. He's a crusty old man. He's very cute, though. Very weird looking. Wonky looking dog. But very sweet, very cute. Extremely loyal. They found him on the street near Walmart, so they called him Walmart Dog. And then when they decided to keep him, I guess, I don't fully know the lore of this dog, but they called him Wally, so he was Wally from then on. His collar said Wally. He lived to be, from my memory as a child, he lived to be about 4,000 years old. But I think I might be remembering that a little bit inaccurately. He was an old boy. He was an old man when he died. And I just like remember there were several years. Actually, I don't know if it was years. It was like at least 1 year, I think, that we spent without a dog. And then my older sister had a guinea pig, and I believe I had a hamster. I don't know, but we went to the pet store to get hamster and guinea pig supplies. And we came home with hamster and guinea pig supplies and a puppy. And he was so cute because we went to the PetSmart on a Saturday, which I'm under the impression that my family didn't know it was adoption days on Saturdays, but I mean, maybe they did, and this was all a ploy to get us to beg them to get a dog. So my dad loves animals, and so does my mom, you know, but my dad is always verbally resistant to getting a new one, and then he ends up being like the closest member of the family to that dog or animal. So I have a suspicion that my dad is saying he doesn't want a pet because what I think is happening is he doesn't want to say that he wants the pet. he wants us to beg him to get the pet. And then when he finally breaks down and says, okay, that he looks like a hero. No, that's mean. I love my dad. He's a really cool guy. So, but I do think that he secretly wants an animal every time he says he doesn't. Except the time I asked for a snake. I don't think he's into snakes. In fact, I know for a fact he's not into snakes. But we got a little puppy. He had the biggest ears I've ever seen. Like, he tripped over his ears. He was a good little dog. He was a cute little sweet buddy. Grew up to be a mini horse of a dog, like a massive, from my memory. I don't know. Like I said, I've been surrounded by small dogs in Korea, but I haven't been allowed to pet. So, perspective, he was probably huge. He was probably about as tall as me when he stood on his back legs. If he stretched up, probably a little bit taller. He was about my height. Like, back feet to top feet, front feet. What the hell am I saying? But basically, grew up and he was kind of like really aggressive with dogs. He was like not having it when other dogs were brought nearby. Absolutely not having it. I want to get down. Shoot. And like would try to kill the other dogs, you know, like very, very aggressive. Like we were scared. He was also kind of aggressive with other people sometimes, from my memory. We were told we should socialize him and stuff, and you know, I didn't want to risk bringing him around other people, you know. Neither did my parents, so obviously we're not going to do that. So we'll try bringing him around dogs, and I may be remembering a lot of this wrong. Sorry if I am. But we were not successful in finding him a brother or sister for a very long time. And then I believe somebody that my mom's coworker knew, like, found a dog or took in a dog that someone they know found on the street. Like a little puppy all alone in like a pretty dangerous part of our city. And we're like, yeah, well, let's see if, you know, he'd be nicer to a puppy because it wouldn't like threaten his, you know, authority. He's pretty territorial, I guess. So maybe this puppy, like baby dog, wouldn't threaten that. And so it worked. He took her under his wing, paw, leg, whatever. And, you know, they got along really well. And from my memory, we got the other dog over, the puppy over, to see, like, a visitation thing. And then she didn't ever leave us. she just stayed. That was her new home forever. She was really cute. Her name was Lucy. So Dewey was the black dog. Big black dog that we got first. He was very sweet. And then we had Lucy. Not little, oh my god, she was also big. Not as big as Dewey. She was a little bit wider, I think, but not as tall. She was like a tan color. And so I basically grew up with him from age, I think if I remember correctly, I was like 11 and 12 when we got Lucy. I was much younger when we got Dewey. I think I was like 8 or 9. I don't think I was 8. I think I was like 9. Dewey was a fully grown dog when we got Lucy. He was a full adult. And Lucy was not. So, it was kind of funny. Basically, Dewey and Lucy were family dogs for so long. And then when I actually moved out of my parents' house because I got a cat. And I did not ask permission, and my mom said, put that thing back where you got it, or so help me. And I said no. And then I was given, I believe, a month to find a new home for either myself or the cat. So my mom's really allergic to cats, and so like I did do this without asking, and I didn't bring an animal that I knew my mom was allergic to into my mom's home, expecting her to not be like angry about it. It was a disrespectful move from me. My bad, Mom. I'm sorry about that. There's a construction site happening. I don't really know what's actually going on. But I'm gonna turn on the bridge. Here's the stream I was at when I found that street dancing festival. I'm gonna drop this in the water. I'm just gonna go to the other side. There's like a big street up there. Oh my god. Oop, okay. There's like a big street up there. We're like just below the street level. It's like this little stream. I don't really know if it's a river or if it's just like a stream that they built or something. I don't know. There's also a train, a whole metro above me. What? It's also it's under the street. Literally, you can see that's the street. So it's nice and shaded. It's nice and shaded. Could break from the UV rays for like a couple of minutes. Not that I got maybe even about my mom's house was very sweet. She was very sweet, very sweet. That was my first pet. That was like my own. That was not like thrown into a small caged animal. I got woozy and I moved out. We moved in with some roommates. They had a cat and a dog. And I had a cat and a lizard. And we had a 2-bedroom apartment. There were 3 people. I moved in with a couple. Don't never do that. It's the biggest mistake on that part. But don't ever move in with your friend and her boyfriend. Or your friend and his girlfriend. Because it's not going to go well. It's going to be the worst. Every time. Don't do it. But basically, we had 2 cats. 1 black lab, so like not even a small dog. 3 people and a lizard and like big old. I don't remember how big her tank was, but it was longer than my dresser. It was bigger than my dresser, perimeter and everything. So all in like a 2-bedroom apartment. It was not good. It was too many animals. So naturally, then I went and got a second cat, and I named her Bacon. So we have Woozy and Bacon, and then lizard's name is Cricket. Quite an interesting collection of names. I moved out to an apartment of my own when that lease was mostly completed. And I was in like a 1-bedroom by myself, and I loved that. That was great. And I had 2 cats and a lizard and myself. In a 1-bedroom, it was perfect. It was the right amount of space. And I pushed the limits of that space and got a corgi, which was fine. It ended up being alright. And then, so I had Cricket the lizard, Lucy the cat, Bacon the cat, and Shang the dog. Shang was my first dog that was very cute, very sweet. The friendliest, sweetest dog. And Woozy was the friendliest and sweetest cat, and Bacon was there. No, I was kidding. Bacon was really sweet. She was just kind of grumpy. Kind of had to get through that outer crust of grumpiness to get to the nice little kitty inside. She was a big cat. But she wasn't as cuddly. She would like demand cuddles in certain times. Usually when I was like dead asleep, so she would sit on my face and like need to cuddle with me. I'm gonna die if you do that. Don't do that. But I moved to a 2-bedroom with 1 roommate, and I had all my pets. And then Cricket died when I was in that house, that apartment. So then I had only 3 pets. And then my cat allergies got so severe that I was like incapacitated. So I then had to give those cats away to, I don't know exactly the connection, but it's some like coworker or former coworker of my mom's or something. She's taking care of them now. They're doing great there. They love it there. She's a really sweet lady. Takes really good care of the cats. So they're very happy there. Big fat happy cats. And I'm very happy about that. And she sends pictures. It's like very sweet to get to check up on them. And then Shang is with my parents right now because I'm not giving him away. I'm either gonna find a way to get him to Korea. I will die trying. I don't know. I also want to have another dog in the meantime. But I currently live in an apartment that does not allow dogs and almost doesn't allow foreigners. I mean, it doesn't allow foreigners, but I'm allowed there because I know the daughter of the landlord, the owners of the apartments in the building. So, very sweet family, very sweet people. I can understand why they wouldn't want foreigners to live in their apartment. It's like a lot of liability because there's a lot of stuff that's different in Korea than in like other countries. So like, and it's all like punishable by fines for the building, for the tenants, and it's a pretty difficult housing situation to manage if you don't know how to do it. And like mold grows everywhere here really easily, and that's like huge damage to the building, and that's like hard to get rid of. There's specific like cleaning stuff that you have to do, like this air is really dry or it's really wet, and it gets like there's some weird Korea specific things that you would have to know how to do, and it's hard if you don't speak other languages well to be able to explain to the foreign tenants that they need to do that, or there's going to be like thousands of dollars worth of damage to your building after they leave. And of course, you don't want that. I mean, also the language is an issue sometimes because not all foreigners speak English here, so not all Korean people speak English, especially like landlords. Sometimes they don't speak English well, so it's already hard to communicate in like the most widely used other language out there between Korea and other places. But like you would have to be able to select like, oh, this landlord can only speak Korean and English, so they only allow Korean speakers and English speakers, which is like, and you're like, okay, that's grounds for like discrimination if they speak Spanish but they don't speak English. Like that's like, oh, why would you never let me in? It's like, I can't talk to you. So it's kind of, I can see, because once you open the building for foreigners, it's like a whole ordeal. And I don't know about like the taxes and stuff. There might be like a different thing you have to deal with, and you have to do whatever in terms of, in terms of like registrations and stuff. I don't really know. I don't know what it's like to own a building in Korea because I'm not rich. Story short, I have to wait till next August at least to get a dog because I'd have to move out of this apartment before I could get a dog. It's really sad because I don't want to sit an entire year before I can get a dog. The reason I got my dog in the first place was because I am depressed, LOL. And having a dog there to play with will keep me from thinking thoughts about throwing myself out the window or otherwise. And also it forces me to like do stuff. Like I have to get up and take care of this dog. So, and cats are not quite that way. I mean, cats are like, you do have to get up and feed the cat and stuff, but it's cute. But you can like get an automatic feeder for a cat. I mean, you can do that for a dog too, but like you don't have to walk a cat. I mean, you can, but I didn't. And the litter box doesn't need to be cleaned every couple of hours. Or like if you kind of keep them in the home a lot of times, or like if you do let them out, you don't necessarily have to go out with them. Like a dog, you would have to either let it outside, like a yard or something. You would have to walk the dog, which would force you to get up and do stuff. And for me, walking the dog is really helpful for me. And if I have another animal they're suffering because I'm not walking them, get my life together enough to walk it. Maybe. I'm not interacting with anybody new today. Doing piercings. Like a strip mall next week. I don't think that's okay. Makes me nervous. What a disaster.